What is going on, guys? Joey here, and I'm just gonna have to do this general world's overview in the car on my way to the doctor's right now. It's nothing urgent, just going over some scans, but I'm just looking at my schedule, and I have like meetings tomorrow. I have a busy day today, and then Sunday I'm doing a podcast, and it's just like, when am I gonna have time to sit down and do this? So I apologize that it is in the car and I'm not like sitting down in front of my screen or whatever, but I think you guys can hear me pretty clearly, and it should be some interesting, entertaining, somewhat good information, whatever you guys want, whatever you guys take away from it. I appreciate you being here. So I'm just gonna generally go over the week and kind of just talk about general things, and then I'll go through each lifter little by little. So first off, Lithuania is probably the most fucking beautiful place that I've seen. It was I don't know how to describe it. It was like, it's kind of like Los Angeles weather after it rains really heavy, and it's very fresh and crispy out and all the smog goes away, but that's their weather all the time. It's super clean. There's birds chirping. The weather is amazing. There's like no humidity. There's like rivers and lakes and green everywhere. And it was just such an amazing little town. Lots of families, lots of people had babies, lots of elderly people walking the streets. Like, it was chill. They had a nice little water fountain thing with like music that would play sometimes at night. Man, it was really a pretty place. There's this one restaurant that I kept going to because it was great. Had a nice vibe to it. I think I brought everybody there. It was great. It was a great meet location. Actually getting to that location was a little tough. For me, it's like 11-hour flight, then layover, then hour and a half flight, and then 2-hour drive. And I think after you go through all that, the 2-hour drive just kind of is just like, are you kidding me, brother? But on the way back, it was much easier because you're getting that drive out of the way first. So it was all good. As always, every world, it's dope to travel the world and meet everybody and shake hands. And there were some lifters from other countries. I specifically remember Kuwait for sure, Australia for sure, the Irish team for sure, among others, that said some really nice things to me. I will never forget what the Swedish coaches said to me, and I'm just gonna take that with me, forever. And those are the types of, we do this, we put our head down, we work. I'm working on the internet, you're right. But when you actually see people in person and they tell you how they feel, shit, man, that's what it's all about, right? Like that, making an impact in any way that you can. I think that's why we do it. Just doing the most good that we can. And it just really was like Joey, man, you're doing the right thing, right? You're doing the right thing with your life. This is what you were meant to do. So that was cool. Before the competition, like actually talking about competition, we went over all the meet day plans with the U.S. coaches. So me and Matt Gary and some of my lifters, not all of them, got on the call, and we just I said, these are the numbers that we're looking at. These are the videos to kind of back it up, which was sent prior and through other means. And then, we basically just, there wasn't really a lot of pushback. Everything, it was just like little adjustments with like warm-ups to make the timings good and making the jumps appropriate and little stuff like that. But aside from that, I felt pretty smooth coming in. So the first day that I had lifters, I had lifters before I actually got to the thing from other countries. But it was difficult for me to get there at that time. And they have their country to help them, and I believe they were in the earlier group. So it was like it was all good. Everything was talked about ahead of time, and people were okay. I believe I got there Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember exactly. So the first day that I had to work or be present was Tuesday. Tuesday I had Russ and Alba lifting in, I guess you could call it prime time, but it's, you know, that A session, the people fighting for the podium slots. I'm going to save Russ to the very end of the video and go through everybody else first. So with Alba, she had just competed 7 weeks before, and she hit me up like, it was like within a week after that meet, and was like, yo, I could do open world, should I do it? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I know you're still a junior, but it's really good experience. This is, you know, you're so young in your career, being able to get this experience now is just going to set you up to be a killer later on. So why not throw ourselves into the fire and practice, you know, on the world stage. We did have a bit of a weight cut because she competed at 69, but then we decided to make the cut to 63 with the help of Dr. Strange himself, Kedrick. If you are competing internationally and you want somebody to really be hands-on with the weight cut, I think he's probably one of the best. I think he is. I mean, I use him as much as I can. A lot of times I have to do the recomp with my lifters myself, and I just like having somebody there to kind of take care of that department, and I can focus on my department. And yeah, he's great for that. So shout out to Kedrick. The cut was amazing. She made the cut from 69 to 63. She didn't lose strength, and I was anticipating there would be a little bit of, I mean, maybe she lost like 2.5 off the top. But, you know, we're going through her squats. She hits her squats. And, I mean, I'll go through this in detail in her own breakdown video, but basically her belt unclipped on her squat. That kind of threw us off. So we didn't really know, like, what her true third attempt would be. But she told us that happened, and we said, okay, we're going to bump it up by 2.5 from what we originally thought it was going to be. And she hits the 185. It was pretty chill. She definitely had another 2.5, possibly another 5. But at this competition, you don't want to risk anything because it's like really tough. It's like any little red light is going to get taken away from you because there's 5 jury members. So you're adding more chances for things to not go your way. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it should be less, like the jury shouldn't take it away unless it's like super obvious or like very dramatic that something got passed and it shouldn't have. So that's something that I hope changes going forward. But anyway, she got her squats. She got all her benches. Bench peaked like amazingly after doing that giant cut. And she probably had a little bit more. And then for deadlift, we basically took 2 attempts, and that kind of put us in position. And then the third deadlift is when, you know, you kind of look at everybody else and say, where's our lot number? What's our body weight? How much do we pull? How much do they pull? And essentially, we had to try to pull over one of the Italian lifters because we did not have a body weight, I believe. And one of them we had lot number, but that one was pulling way more, so like it didn't really matter. And we were just trying to get to the podium to get a panda, right? To lock in that slot for the World Games. And we ended up having to go like just out of what we thought was possible. But third place was locked up no matter what. Or not it's not what we thought was possible. It's we had never attempted this weight before. Preferably it would have been 5 kilos less, and I think we would have been fine, but it is what it is. We ended up missing it, but Alba did everything she was supposed to do. She put a bunch of kilos on her total. She broke the world record, the junior world record on her opening deadlift. Like, this meet was just a little bit ahead of schedule for where she's at. but she's getting there, and it's just a matter of time before, I know that one day she can get gold. Like, I know it. We just need time. We just got to keep working and keep doing the things that we're doing that put us in this position, and we'll be good to go. So that was chill. I got to be back there with the Swedish coaches, and that was super dope. They're really, really good. I like working with them for meet day. And then next up, I had Cranon, and I was not sure how she was going to feel mentally coming in, because her first meet with me was last July, and to be at the World Championships less than a year, that's crazy, and that's a lot. And I remember how nervous she was at Nationals and how much pressure we put on her. And she just rose to the occasion every time. You know, we spent a lot of time the days leading up to the meet just like kind of hanging out, making sure the vibes are right, making sure the mind is right, doing her last couple workouts together, and just really making sure that she knows that she's not alone, we have her back, and she's going to be good to go. I think on meet day, everything just kind of... We actually showed up late to weigh-ins. She just took a little bit too long getting ready. So, but it didn't really matter because she didn't really cut weight. Her weight was good. We were literally eating like all the meals together, and then if I wasn't with her physically, I would tell her like, you could have this, you could have that, and everything worked out. I can't do that every meet, but when I'm physically there, like at Sheffield, for example, I could do that. It's just hard to do it when you're not physically there because you don't know what's around. I can't go to the store with the lifter in another country and like look at the weird languages and try to translate it and figure out what's going on. You know, it's just like a lot. But we were able to get our meals in, make weight. She came out. Squat was we actually took that weight in the gym a couple weeks ago, her third squat, and she had another 5 to 7 kilos on it from the gym. But I mean, we're at Worlds, international travel, first meet, doing that. I'm good with it. I'm good with the 220. It was hard-ish. Yeah, it's pretty hard. But, I mean, for her to be able to hit that after what her PR was last meet, and everything that we dealt with, I'm not complaining. I am not complaining. She ended up taking gold medal in the squat, which is absolutely insane for her first world meet. I like literally there's so many things about her meet that are just like, this has never been done before. I don't think this has ever been done before. This is absolutely insane. Bench was really good. Well, it was good, but she had hit more than that in the gym by a good amount. It's the same thing with squat. It was almost as if she cut, even though she didn't. But I know that her travel getting here, we couldn't really hit the last taper workouts the way that we wanted to. It was like 2 weeks out. They were kind of bumpy because like the gym was closing, or the days got pushed, or the flight something, or the luggage was lost. Like there was just always something. So that the taper was not done perfectly. But the last 2 workouts coming in, I was physically there for. So it was all good. And then, and it affected those lifts the most. And then deadlift showed up like super, super strong. And we were able to just lock in 3rd place, and she did amazingly, got the panda, and, you know, I was like 858, 585, really, really, really good total for her at this stage in her career, and she's going to be hitting in the 600s, and she's probably going to be hitting like 615 soon, so crazy, 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 crazy. Who we got next? Amanda. You already know what it is with Amanda. We came in, we changed to heels to get around some issues that we were having with the back. And we weren't cutting this meet because she didn't like cutting for the last couple meets. And she was like, I'm just going to tighten up my diet and do some steps and not cut weight. And she didn't cut weight. Came in the most durable that she's been in terms of like injuries and stuff. really no complaints, no problems, nothing really bothering us. Maybe a little bit of like IT band stuff, but it was not really that significant. Again, we did change the heels to save the back, and I mean, everything worked out. She did get sick. She had like a fever for like 24 hours. Something weird happened. I don't understand what that was, but like nobody else was sick. It was just maybe she ate something bad. I'm not really entirely sure. So we were like, okay, we're probably gonna have to go a little bit conservative. And I do think it drained her a little bit. But yeah, I mean, she beat everybody by 50 kilos, locked in another Sheffield spot, locked in a World Game spot. So it was all good. I am very eager to get Amanda to that. I really feel like 670 makes sense if everything goes perfect and we have like a good prep. I think 660 is probably a good goal, maybe around there for the next one, but I got my eyes on 670 and I am gonna do everything I can to make that happen. So shout out to Amanda, shout out to Miss Kelly for helping us out in the back. All good. And then we had, who do we have next? Jesus. For Jesus, our goal was to just kind of fix what happened at Sheffield and just make our attempts. We took 2 squats. We didn't think we needed the third one. We're also kind of nursing a hamstring thing. Took 2 squats, blew up the 1,003. Definitely had more, but just said, nah, we're good. Bench, I believe, was like 578, which was chill. Just wanted to make lifts. We didn't want to push. I mean, he already hit like 600 before, so we didn't need to go crazy or anything. He is also lighter than he was considerably. So that's why I pulled the numbers down slightly. But we were able to clean up the technique. We were able to work around the hamstring, bring everything together, and have a good Worlds. Literally just execute, and that's what he did. He got 3 deadlifts. That's all we wanted. 3 deadlifts. That forced his opponent to have to pull like something crazy that's like never been done before, and he wasn't able to. He didn't even try to do it. I think he went for like a junior record or something. But shout out to Timur, our opponent. He's pretty good. Gotta keep an eye on that guy because he's like 21, so it's gonna get spicy perhaps. But I know Jesus is gonna be. I'm looking at 1,200. You know what I mean? We're looking at crazy numbers. We're working on recomping a little bit, just to come in better shape, and just to make deadlifts a little bit easier. So he will be the leanest, biggest, strongest super ever. But yeah, Jesus was chill. And then Sonita, I don't know if you guys saw her post, but like really tough prep mentally for her. Just, when your identity is squat and you're in those low strength, high fatigue moments, it can kind of mess with your head a little bit. But it was just normal, like training fatigue and stuff. And she was able to overcome some tiny little injuries that we had at the last 6 weeks. We kind of got rid of those. And then everything was good, and she peaked amazingly, and everything went according to plan, and even exceeded. It even exceeded what we thought. I only wanted to go 308 kg on the squat, 308.5. I think it might have had to been because we were heavier. Just so you guys know, if you're too heavy, and you take a chip, and your opponent is lighter, and they have a chip, you have to go 1 up, I think, because if they take a chip and you take a chip, but you're heavier, it doesn't help you. You have to go like a full increment up. But I mean, that's meet day stuff. It doesn't come up too often. It does come up, but not too often. But anyway, she really wanted the 311. I said, all right. She hit the 311. Literally 685 pound squat by a girl. Craziest shit I've ever seen. Literally, I was just like, what is happening right now? Bench, we pulled it down a little bit because we just wanted to be safe. I believe we hit the 152 kg. We're up so much after the squat that it was just like, all right, now we just need to make lifts. Opened with 250 kg, 551, and then we went to like 562. I believe that was 578, and then after that, I mean, we didn't even need to do that. We just did it because we didn't know what the other girls could pull. Somebody had told me 280, and I was like, well, shit, if they could pull 280, look online, see if they can pull 280. Then we want to put it out of range, right? We want to put a number on there that like nobody's going to catch, kind of like with Austin Perkins, how he pushed the total to 836. I think it was 836, because you never know what your opponent can do if you Hail Mary, right? So you don't want to play games and get caught. So I think that's that. Now going back to Russ. With Russ, we basically did the plan that we planned for. We planned for 843, and that we would have one more attempt on top of that to push it into the 850s if we needed it. I did make some changes. We changed his nutritionist coming in, and I would not have done that had I known that we were in for a fight of our lives. Not gonna lie, Jurgens, man, I underestimated you. I 100% underestimated you, because he just competed like 12 weeks ago, 11 weeks ago, whatever. He put up a total that is consistent with prior totals that he's done during this timing. And there was no reason to think that, I mean, his training like the last month was like really good, but at the end of the day, it's like you're already too late at that point. And he has shown good training before, and then on meet day, it's just not materialized. But they were able to figure it out, and after like many years of competing against him, he put it together. And he, like, let's break it down. Not only is he 36 years old, but we have years of history competing against him. There's not really anything to indicate that like he's gonna get it together and break out and have a meet that he's been capable of. He's just not been able to manifest, right? So that could be on me for underestimating him, because had we known that we needed an 860 performance, 860, 865, whatever, we would have shown up a week before. I don't know if you guys know, but Russ's flight, it was going to be 2 days before the meet, but then it got delayed to 1 day before the meet. And I remember sitting in the lounge talking to him, hearing that this happened, because we were supposed to arrive around the same time. And I was just like, this is not the best. This is not the best. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Had he been here a day before, I mean, shit, we might have been able to execute the cut a little better. Literally 1 or 2 days before, we could have executed the cut better. I knew that something was off just because after weigh-ins, he looked flat. He said the recomp felt the best it's felt. I was physically there to help him do that. But for all the other stuff, with how meticulous you have to be on the water cut that we did have, in order to have all those resources, we had to bring it on the plane. And we didn't do that. He didn't bring it on the plane. So we didn't have what we needed to properly do the cut, which is like so important. And we know it's not necessarily so much with training, because he was very strong in training the week before. The week before he traveled, he squatted 750, and it was fast. You know what I mean? So it's literally just, we wouldn't have changed the cut, and he would have got there a week ahead of time. I think that would have been enough to seal the deal. There are other things, like many other things, that we are changing and doing to make sure that this does not happen again. But that I just got to keep close to the chest for now. I mean, maybe forever, but for now. And I'm telling you guys, like, I'm just very confident in the plan. Everything makes sense. Everything looks like it's going to propel him forward. And I mean, I'm telling you guys, Russ is capable of a very disgusting total if we can take the water cut in it from last meet, and the recomp from this meet, and the prep from last meet, and put it all together. Prep is going to be even better this time around. Then we can manifest something and display something that will be remembered for years and years and years to come. I know he can do it. I literally know he can do it. I've seen it. So that is what we're going to work on. We underestimated Jurgens, so I guess the whole mindset shifted, and we thought we were only going to be capable of, what we showed up with. I already knew after the squat that, like, with how things went last meet, where we were going to be at for deadlift. Had we gotten that third squat, maybe I put another 2.5 on Russ's deadlift. So that's 9.5 kilos. Make Jurgens jump the 10. Make him pull like damn near 800. And if he pulls it and he can hold it, which he's never attempted, to my knowledge, then hey man, all props to you. Good shit. You did what you needed to do, and it is kind of annoying that, yes, his third deadlift looked pretty chill, but like, you never know, man. You never know. You put that extra 7 keys on there, and shit can happen. Look what happened with the 93s. Homie came in, Emil came in, and he dropped it, smoked it, and dropped it. So you never know. Even after all of those variables, Russ lifted 850.5. But at the end of the day, we just need to be stronger. Like, it is what it is. Like, we literally just need to be better. We need to bring the cut in. We need to put it all together. We need to have a perfect meet, and everything needs to pan out the way I know it can. I know it can because I've done it. I've done it with many other lifters before. It's just the attention to detail that needs to happen for the small annoying things, like the little things. When it comes to the weight cut, for example, and like a little things here and there in training, like, this is everything now. This is, we gotta make it right. And it's up to us to put it together and do that. So I know Russ wants it bad. Obviously I want it bad, and I'm excited for this off season. I'm excited to finally have him at Sheffield. 4 of my lifters were able to guarantee Sheffield. We'll see if any more get wild carded in. I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of, shout out to Matt and Susie helping us in the back. Shout out to Big Mike Z for helping me out during the week. Shout out to Christoph and Sonita, or Christoph, Sonita's guy, Sonita's man, for being helpful and just being, being a bro and being a bud and helping me out with the little things. And, anytime a great performance, you pull off a great performance like this, there's always like, it's such a team effort. It's such a team effort. There's a lot of other shit going on and a lot of other moving parts going on. And, thank you for, I said it before. Thank you, Powerlifting America, for giving us a playground to mess around in and make a way for ourselves. A shout out to the IPF for everything. And, we gotta keep working, fellas, because it's just going to get harder and harder. The stakes are just getting higher and higher. And, nobody's working hard enough. Some people are, but nobody's working hard enough. You get what I'm saying? There's just so much on the line now every meet that, nothing is going to come easy. Even the weight classes, there's like 2 or 3 right now where it's kind of like you have a runaway. It's going to be hard soon. Someone's going to come. Someone's going to come for you. If you exist, somebody else can too, So, anyway, that's my little world's overview. Shout out to Swole Ricketts for helping me out all week as well with the car and stuff. Shout out to, everybody that was supporting back home. Tina texting me throughout the meet, the boys texting me throughout the meet. Like, it was tough to communicate with people because we didn't really have internet, but yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. It's time to level up and push things even further. The stakes, like I said, they're only going to get harder and higher, and just more pressure on everything. And I think we're starting to see powerlifting kind of hit that bell curve, and launch us, straight into space. Anyway, that's my little quick overview. If you guys have any comments or specific things about the meet you want me to cover, let me know in the comments down below. The theme going forward is we just got to be better. Got to keep winning. Bronze, silver, triple gold. That's cool, but it could always be, you know, 5 golds, right? So that's kind of the mindset that we have, that I have. And yeah, that's it, guys. Long video. See you guys in the next one. Peace.